Hello and welcome to True Guidance Tarot. I'm Adriana Teodoro-Dier. I'm a spiritual medium and intuitive reader. I've got a message for Libra today, and to let you know how this works, I've asked my guides in spirit to bring a message through the cards that will be deeply meaningful and helpful for you as you navigate what's going on in your world this week. And if you're new to the channel, welcome. I'm so glad you're here, and I strongly invite you to subscribe so that you can benefit from being in contact with this high vibration information every week. And if you're returning, I'm so glad to see you again. Thank you for sharing this journey with me. And I really look forward to reading these cards for you because we've got an interesting thing happening this week. The words they're giving me are rite of passage. So there's something going on with your psyche on the inside that is trying to either reconcile itself or kind of get itself up to the next level. Let's just start. We've got the Six of Wands for the energy around you this week, or the energy the universe is sending you. So there's some level of accomplishment. There's some level of public recognition that you have achieved, something positive that has happened for you in the past week. And it's almost like people see who you are and see the talents and the things that you bring, but you're wanting to kind of keep a low key. The Page of Cups here is suggesting to me that you're kind of wanting to stay out of the spotlight. You're wanting to say no to the limelight, and you're wanting to spend a little more time looking inward rather than projecting outward. And it's almost like people are trying to pay you compliments and you don't want to accept them. You're just kind of like, no, just kind of be low-key in the background on the sides right now. So emotions under the sea is where we've headed, and that's where we start the next part of your reading, the advice or the continuation of the story. The Three of Cups, the Knight of Swords, and the Page of Pentacles. Now this is the most interesting picture. If this were a painting, this is really interesting because it's almost like you've got these three mermaids hanging out, and remember, the energy that you're responding to the universe with is that mermaid energy. You got these three mermaids, and then all of a sudden you have this interloper. The Knight of Swords comes and cuts through, is trying to drive away this outsider, the Page of Pentacles. So it's a very strange story, but let's start talking about it. You're wanting to be this Page of Cups because there's part of you that doesn't want to be recognized as an individual for your bright, shining talents and strengths. You don't want to be recognized for that because it's like it puts you outside the group. It puts you kind of above. It seems like it puts you above everyone else, but it doesn't allow you to blend in with the crowd. It's almost like that much attention on you makes you feel singled out, and you don't really want that. You want to blend in. You would rather be this Page of Cups playing with the other mermaids, right? And that's what we see in this Three of Cups, that they're all alike, they all love to be together, and they're all getting along together. So this was that younger part of your soul, that younger part of your psyche that really wanted to understand itself relating to others in a way that, give me some English here. I'm trying to say this as directly as I can. It's almost like you absorbed the identity of the other people around you, and this is something that makes you feel very comfortable and safe because, again, it helps you to blend in. And I'm just seeing this story that I read a long time ago of this woman. It's about her own rite of passage. It's a typical like evil stepmother story where she gets driven out to the wilderness. But it starts with her own mother, and it's like the mother is too good and they're too close, and the mother has to die so that she can grow up. So what we're talking about is these relationships that are too comfortable, too close, this identification of yourself with this other people. It's just too, you've outgrown it, is what I'm trying to say. So this other part of your psyche, the Knight of Swords, which might, if this were an actual fairy tale or something, this might be the suitor, or it could be like the evil suitor that comes in to tear you away from that family. But what is he doing here? He's actually driving away the outsider, the Page of Pentacles. Page of Pentacles is not a mermaid. She's sitting there by herself on a dragon. There's nobody with her that's like her, as opposed to these other ones, which are all socially kind of the same. And what they're saying is that you've been driving this part of yourself away. You've been kind of like trying to hide it, kind of like an ugly puppy, or an ugly, what you think is an ugly part of yourself that you don't want other people to see because it's different. And what you're not seeing is that that part of you is actually beautiful. It's what makes you unique. It's what makes you beautiful. Sometimes, like, when I know, I don't like to make these things gendered, but being a woman, you get very critical of certain parts of your body. And I remember reading about Audrey Tautou. She's a French actress who starred in Amélie. She always was so self-conscious about her legs. She thought they were too skinny and too ugly. But then when she started to accept that, other people would just start to tell her how beautiful they were. So it was her own perception that they were somehow ugly and they were somehow unacceptable. It was not an objective statement, right? So it's because you've been trying to shove that part away from you for so long for the purpose of wanting to blend in. It's a really interesting psychology that's happening, because in the outside world, you are being seen anyway, and you're being celebrated and you're being accepted, the Six of Wands. But inside your psyche, you're so afraid to show that gift, to show that, quote, flaw or maybe unacceptable part of you, that you're just afraid, and you continually send these negative thoughts to cut it down and to keep it small. But this Page of Pentacles, all she wants to do is grow. I don't know if you can see, she's holding a little spark in her hand, and she just wants to grow. The page is always talking about, not always, the page talks about potential. And so what does potential but the ability to make bigger, the ability to grow? So she's asking to be allowed to come out and to become strong. So part of you has to let go of yourself that's a little bit different than everyone else. You have to be okay with that idea that, yes, you are a little bit different. There is something about you that's not perfectly like the other people. But what's so interesting to me is that they gave us the answer right away. That once you decide to accept that part of yourself, it's already being accepted. The universe doesn't just send you energy out of nowhere. It has to express it through people. It has to express it through things that happen. So you're already being treasured as that unique, interesting person. It's just within your own psyche, you're still having this little battle. So what needs to happen is this guy needs to stand down. You take this away. And you need to understand that it's the blend of these two, that blend of the social identity with the personal identity that's special and different and unique, bringing those gifts back to this community, and then you strengthen that fold. So it's funny to say this, it's actually selfish of us to hold our gifts back. Oh, good, he can stay turned around. It's selfish of us to hold our gifts back, because then we can't share them with the world. We can't develop them to their full potential, and they never get to the point of being able to really help others. So just kind of think about that for a second. Think about what you are missing. Think about what others are missing because you're afraid to accept this part of yourself. So I will leave you with that thought. Just dropped a huge bombshell on you. And if you are interested in a one-on-one reading, I just wanted to let you know that I am available through Zoom. You can find out more at trueguidancetarot.com. And I look forward to seeing you next week. And I always love to hear from you. So if you feel compelled to write, that is awesome. I do treasure those comments. So I'll look forward to seeing you next time, and have a good one.